Hey guys, I want to talk about today what it's like surviving Lyme disease. I was and COVID and a lung collapse. So a year ago, I had Lyme disease, and it all happened fast. Well, it happened so fast in my body that basically, when I went to the hospital, the doctors were like, "You can die within 24 hours," and I would go to work still in this state. And it was just so painful. Like the headaches, it felt like my brain was blowing through my skull. And then I got facial palsy. My face was falling apart. Like I couldn't talk right. I couldn't really even close my eyes. So, what happened after the facial palsy was basically my brain was swelling to the point where it was going to explode, probably. I was going to die from that. So I went to the hospital, got that treated, and then after I got Lyme disease treated, I thought life was going to go back to the same way it was before, and I was wrong. If it was a lot worse for me than just those upfronting symptoms because the Lyme disease had went through my body. And there's days where I'm so extremely tired, even though I get good sleep, I eat right, and I try to do everything right that I can, but it's really hard. So, I still suffer. And the one thing that really gets me, that makes me suffer the most, is the forgetful thoughts. I tried a new job after new job, and I'm just so extremely tired after all these jobs. And I fell asleep at one job. The other job, it's just not working. I'm extremely forgetful there. And they don't understand there's good days and there's bad days. So I'm like the only person they really push. They don't push the other employees like they push me. I don't understand why, but they do that. And I try to explain, look, it's just not one of my good days. I don't feel like doing this extra work. Why don't we get new employees or have someone else do it? So when I quit that job, they get three new employees. I guess because they need three employees to keep up with my stamina and strength that I got that they don't got. And I wish people would come to my job and realize this stamina and strength and be like, okay, he's a excellent worker, and they're just pushing him more and more. When I can do something is when I can do it on my good days. On my bad days, I still have shortness of breath. I still have forgetfulness. My body aches in pain. Some days it feels like I want to fall asleep behind the wheel while driving, which I have done once. And it was quite scary. It was for a few seconds, and I woke back up. I was driving on the highway, and it was pretty scary. So, I'm trying to recover from Lyme disease the best way I can with medications. But these medications, I don't know if they're helping that much. Like what I was using on my own term to treat my ADHD. I don't get good sleep as it is because there's been a lot of drama that's happened while I've been sleeping and I woke up too. or other times where I didn't sleep and I noticed things happen that aren't good. So, it's like 5 symptoms, 10 symptoms a day that I deal with. And people don't understand the struggle it is that Lyme disease brings on to you. It's really painful and it's mentally disabilitating. Like the manager was like, "Oh, we help people with disabilities and such." No, no, you don't. Because if you did help people with disabilities, you wouldn't be pushing them unlike the people without the disabilities that you don't push. You push people who have the strength to do things and give a little slack to the people who don't have that energy and strength so they can recover as they need to. So there's days where I get depressed, suicidal thoughts, and really the only thing that helps me is stimulant medications. And it's not like I want all of them because I know there are some that make you worse and there's some that make you extremely better. But now, after COVID, Lyme disease, and the lung collapse, I get shortness of breath, and it's really hard to deal with. So, it's not fake. It's not, oh, let's pretend to be sick and tired today, because I was never like that at my jobs before. I love to work. So, let's move on to how COVID's affected me. COVID has affected me in a way where neurologically, I thought my girlfriend was gonna die when she was having COVID with me, and I wasn't worried about myself. I helped her as much as I could, and there was at one point where the forgetful thoughts were like extremely bad, and like I was looking for a new job, trying to get my life back together, and basically I was on the laptop like I am right now, and I just forgot what I was doing. I was on job applying sites, and I was like, what am I doing? Hold up. My brain just went like blank. Like there was nothing in my brain there. There was just nothing at all. It's blank. It's done. And it's real bad. It can be real debilitating for people on specific medications and who are weaker than the average person, especially for people with ADHD, especially for people taking stimulant medications. It's debilitating. And people will always make you look like a bad guy no matter what you've been through because they just don't care. People do not care. And that's the sad part of America is our society has gone in a way where mental illness isn't really a thing anymore or something. So I recovered somehow. I had a lung collapse, a spontaneous lung collapse, which I had them change to a COVID related lung collapse. because it was from COVID. Not only COVID, but Lyme disease. Lyme disease can cause shortness of breath. So when you got two things collaborating together, a deadly virus and very deadly infection, you get what's called a mixture. What I would call it is a viral infection. So basically, they combined and caused this lung collapse, and for the lung to fill with fluids, or not even the lung to fill with fluids, the area around the chest to fill with fluids. So I went to the hospital. They did a bunch of shit. They tried to give me fentanyl. I said no, because I don't play that game. And basically, I dealt with the whole procedure like without being numbed on my own terms. And it was just it wasn't from cigarettes, it wasn't from drugs. It's from Lyme disease and COVID. The first day I got COVID, I didn't know I had it, but now I would know if I had it. I felt so fatigued, like extremely tired that I felt drunk. How to drive home a dangerous highway like this. This is how we get COVID related car crashes because people feel so extremely tired driving home from work. They don't know why. Well, that's probably why. You're so fatigued and tired that you feel drunk. You're swerving on the highway. Next thing you know, you get into an accident, you're dead, or close to death. People just don't realize the seriousness of this. And I would go to say Lyme disease can be a lot worse than COVID. Not because less people get it, because it's more, the symptoms persist way longer. And COVID can be like that too, but I've noticed it's mainly Lyme disease symptoms. And I'm trying to push on in life. It's not even like the manager at this place was just like, soon you're gonna run out of jobs you're applying to. Well, that's really a messed up thing to say considering I'm sick with chronic illness that persists daily through my life every single day. He's like, well, my body hurts every day too. Dude, I, I was like 24 hours away from dying. You're really gonna say that? I get it, you're older, but come on, grow up. And that's why I quit. I'm gonna find a new job. Hopefully, it'll be a lot smoother. And I feel like this is what goes on through the ADHD community is that people just don't give a fuck about you. But if they know you're ADHD and you take stimulant medications, you got that extra boost of energy that one day, maybe not the next. They're gonna abuse your body every single freaking day until you're all worn out like a sock. It's real sad. It's like I don't feel accepted, and I feel like people just blame it on the drugs when it's not the drugs at all because the stimulants were helping. They still are extremely helpful with treating the brain swelling because in ADHD people like myself, I've realized. Damn squirrel back there, I've realized that it decreases the swelling, and actually, that's probably what saved my life. The stimulants. My brain wasn't swelling. And there's days where I get upper back pain, and as soon as I go to lay down in bed, my back extremely hurts. So it is really hard to sleep, even without that back pain. It is. I get a whole night's of sleep, sleep all night without it, without the medication, and with, don't matter. But it's a lot better with it because I feel more wakeful, like I feel more woken, and it just feels like I can wake up and smile some days with it, which can lead to a manic state. I know this, but you, you, you have to do what you have to do in life to succeed. You decide whether you want to do 2 or 3 Adderalls or smoke, so that way you can do things that you need to do. Those dopamines get out in your brain and they help you. It is like a false sense of reality, but I'd rather have that false sense of reality than be in pain and cover and hide the symptoms, because call me what you want to call me. It's better to get through by life not in pain and not depressed than it is to be in pain and depressed and severely hurt and not want to do anything in life and not go places. I'm trying my best, but sometimes your best is just overcome with illness and sickness, and you gotta take the time to figure figure out things in life and how to heal yourself and how to get back into it, because after Lyme disease, COVID, and the lung collapse, I haven't been the same. It's just every day it's pain, it's shortness of breath, it's hard to get up out of bed, and it's chronic. Like it's every day of my life, it's something different that I'm dealing with. And people don't realize it. Like they think it's all a joke. They think it's an excuse or something. If you've seen before me and after me, you'd probably say the same. I hope everyone that watches this can share it and help me spread the truth of how severe what I would call them are bioweapons. Bioweapons are, because it's severe and it hurts. And it's depressing because people don't care. Bye, YouTube. Be safe.